YouTube, what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching the videos. What's going on? What's going on? You been waiting? Yeah, it's I gotta run a truck first, I can't be running around making YouTube videos. But what's going on? Appreciate y'all watching the videos. Hold on. I think the coronavirus got my phone acting up. All right, let me clean the coronavirus off there. Yeah. You headed to Memphis? How many trucks I got? I just got one. Are you with the choice program? I was on the choice board. I was. I was on it for a little while, but it was time to leave the nest and get up from under a big make carrier and start your own carrier. So everybody know I got my own authority. This ain't what this video about. If you want to know about stuff, I got about 500 videos. I got 500 videos talking about trucking. All them videos to keep you entertained and But what this video about? Coronavirus and trucking. Um, how's business? Business going good. I mean, it's all right. Um, you know, um, I'm still running this truck. You know, got my own truck and trailer, and I'm just out here, man, just trying to make it. That's all. I'm just out here trying to get these loads and just trying to get stuff done. But you know, I've been Googling around, watching the news and people on Facebook and stuff. Yeah, man, what's going on? Yeah, I've been watching the news and everybody talking about this coronavirus going on out here, and you know, and like, ugh, ugh. I'm sorry, y'all. Everybody talking about this coronavirus going on out here, and I don't know what else to say. I got mixed feelings about it. Like, on one side, I'm nervous, I'm scared, and then the other side, I'm like, man, this junk out here, it's full of crap out here. It's nothing but a bunch of fear mongering carrying on, right? And so, um, I mean, I got mixed feelings about it. I don't know. But when it comes to trucking, guys out here are, guys out here, like, I would like for the rates to go up a little bit, but I mean, I haven't seen the rates go way up to where I like for them to be as far as the coronavirus is concerned. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's still early. I don't know. Maybe it's still early. So it's really hard to say. So, I mean, like I've been, watching the news and on Facebook and guys talking about, oh man, the rates should go up and stuff like that. But I'm like, I mean, times like this, I mean, rates don't really go up per se just because the rates don't necessarily go up just because because it's just, if you look at the real world issue that's going on here, in the real world when it comes to trucking, all right, okay, I was on Facebook and it was a couple guys on there talking about, they was at a warehouse and they was like pretty much a day behind. It was pretty much a day behind, right? Now, if you look at it, if you understand trucking, and on a regular day, a lot of shippers and receivers, warehouses, manufacturers, they be behind anyway, right? It'd be a line of trucks going down the road on a regular day. And then on top of this right here, and so you got shippers and receivers having to ship product that's sensitive to this situation going on out here. So you got all of a sudden this urgency for water, all of a sudden this urgency for cleaning products, disinfectants, paper towels, and I'm trying to think of all the things that circle around, this virus outbreak going on. And I'm like, in my mind, if you're not in trucking, right? Naturally you would think, okay, the rate should go up. It should be more loads, right? But I'm like, no, it's not gonna happen. It's not really gonna happen. Because essentially you're gonna book that load, right? You're gonna book that load, you're gonna go to this warehouse to pick up a load, and then you're gonna have to sit 10, 15 hours to get loaded because that place is a day or two behind because they got an influx of orders from all these retailers out here. Okay? Amazon, Walmart, Big Lots, Kroger, and all the small regional distributors and household distributors and retailers, Costco, Sam's Club. I mean, I can go on and on. The corner store, all these places put in an order for all this stuff, all at the same time, right? So, okay, now you got to understand the paperwork has to trickle down all the way down to the warehouse, and they have to receive the order. They have to pick the order. They have to, depending on where you are, they have to manufacture the order. They have to palletize the order. They have to stage the order. Okay. Typically, let me dumb it down to you. Typically, the average truck going down the road, before the order gets to a truck, you're looking at least a week. at least a week. Okay. And so we probably won't see a good influx of product or influx of loads or rates and whatnot. I would say maybe until next week or the week after next. Okay. So the stores and the retailers, they're going to be out of stuff for a while. And if they do get an order, it'll be a small order. As soon as it hit the floor, it's gone. Okay. Wipes, water, like instead of getting instead of getting 20, 25 pallets of water, a store might get 5 or 10, right? Or instead of getting a full truck, they might get a half a truck, 10, 15 pallets or something like that. And so, and then that's just reality, and like, I mean, you would think that, the manufacturers and the shippers, the warehouses just have this surplus of product ready to be shipped, but that's not the case. That's not the case, because people don't understand our society, our retail industry is already running at 100% already. It's already at 100% capacity already. And so then when you have an issue like this, it's easy for stuff to get behind. It's easy for stuff to get behind. And so, and when it's pertaining to trucking, and I look at the grocery stores, like I went to Walmart and like it was 2 or 3 aisles that was like bare. It was nothing, no toilet paper, no toilet tissue, no water, no cleaning supplies. The whole aisle is bare. I was like, wow. Wow. I bet there's a Clorox plant over there in Forest Park in Atlanta. I don't know if any of you guys run in Atlanta, but there's a Clorox plant over there in Forest Park. And I bet they're working at full capacity already. They're giving employees overtime. People, probably got people running double shifts, triple shifts, trying to get the product out the door, manufacture the product, and see it's a trickle down effect. It's a trickle down effect, especially like a manufacturer like Clorox, where they actually manufacture the product, right? So Clorox, they manufacture the product. However, say if they run out of an ingredient. Say they run out of chlorine. Chlorine is a very important ingredient in a lot of cleaners. Okay. Chlorine is a very important ingredient. Say if they run out of plastic jugs or plastic containers. So now Clorox has to order their plastic containers. Now they have to wait for a plastic container truck to come in. Okay. Now they gotta wait for a chlorine truck because they're short on chlorine. They ran out of chlorine or all the other ingredients that comes with manufacturing a product. Okay. And I mean, me personally, if it was me, I would stay away from all this freight out here. The only thing I would probably pull some water. If there's a water load, an influx of water loads, I would run those loads. But anything else, I wouldn't mess with it. That's just my opinion. You know, I've been talking to guys. They be like, man, I'm gonna get out here and run hard because, you know, uh, get some of these lows out here, et cetera, because, I guess the perception is gonna be the rates are gonna be better and blah 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 blah. But I don't think so. It's just my experience and my perception on the reality of stuff, So I don't know. I may be wrong, but that's just my opinion, you know. Um, because I've been looking at the load board. I've been looking at the load board. I've been seeing a lot of water loads, a lot of Procter and Gamble loads, but they ain't paying nothing. Like they still not paying nothing. Nothing. The lows are paying, no doubt, but they're not paying enough for me to get out the bed and be like, it's the lows are paying good. Like, nah, it's just these lows might be paying maybe $50 more. With give you an idea. 50 to $100 more. That's giving you an idea. And some of y'all might get lucky. You might find a broker out there that's got an influx of freight that he need trucks for, and he don't mind paying a little bit more to move the load. But other than that, I don't think so. Let me go back in these comments. Let me see. Xavier said, did they change the hours of service for hauling relief products? Yeah. I mean, according to OOIDA, they're giving hours of service relief, but not too many carriers, independent carriers anyway, that's certified to do that anyway. I mean, it's, you're talking about maybe 10% of the guys out here, 5-10%. Like, technically, yeah, but out of 100 guys, only 2 or 3 guys are really doing that type of product. And so, and then here's the deal. DOT officers are still DOT officers. And so say you running over your logbook and you got a relief quote unquote load. The DOT officers still have to use his judgment on whether, and then you have to turn around and have to prove him wrong. You get what I'm saying? Unless you got the certification on your window, on your door saying you are a relief driver. I mean, the thing is, in order to get that certification, in order to get that clearance, you got to fill out paperwork to get that. And by the time you fill out the paperwork to get that clearance, it ain't gonna be worth it. It's like that's the real reality of what we're talking about when it comes to this type of stuff. You can't just say, oh yeah. It's like, well, in the real world, down here on planet Earth, this is what we're doing. We're pretty isolated in these trucks. Yeah, I mean, knock on wood, it's been a long time since I had a cold. And I think that's all due to me being in this truck. Because we spend like 95% of our time in these trucks, except when we got to put fuel in the truck. We got to go in the truck stop. We got to go into a shipper receiver and touch on doors and whatnot. But for the most part, we're in these trucks, and This is what I got for my truck. You know, I wipe my truck down with this, you know, and I got some wipes, and that's just what it is, man. And that's just what it is, you know, and that's just what it is. Stay away from the grocery store so long. That's exactly what I'm saying, Noble Trucker. That's what I'm saying. So if you running any of that kind of product, just expect to have a long wait, because it's gonna be you and 20 other trucks pulling that same freight. And like, it's just gonna be a whole lot of, because like I just said, on a regular work week, on a regular ordinary week, on a regular ordinary day, picking up and delivering a load to somewhere is already a long wait. And then it's compounded with this stuff. It ain't even worth it. Say you got a load that pays $1,000 on a regular week, but then they paying an extra $200 on the load. Yeah, man, this is a relief load. We're gonna pay you extra $200 on it, $300. Well, if you run the load and you end up wasting additional day, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. The extra $200. You go to the place to pick up the load, you end up sitting a day. And then you finally get loaded and you run the load, then you sit another day. It took you 3 days to run a load that usually takes 1 day. That, is it really worth it? Like I said, the only loads I would probably pull right now is water loads, because water is a simple, easy product to run. It's one SKU number, one UPC number, and typically when you pick up water loads, you in and out. You go to Niagara Waters, you come in, you give them the pickup number, they put you straight to a door, they load you in about an hour, because it's just water. Unless they got to wait to manufacture the water or fill the bottles, palletize it, and stage it. If you got to wait on that, that's probably going to take time. But most of the time, Niagara Waters got stockpiles of water ready to go. And so you come in, they load your truck, you out of there in about an hour, 2 hours at the most. You run the load, you get to the place, and like with grocery warehouses, it still takes a little long, but water is about the easiest thing you can deliver at a grocery warehouse. It's either water or toilet paper. Now, if you got like toilet paper, when it's just one type of toilet paper on the whole trailer, then you're fine. They don't have to check it, and then they don't have to do all that extra stuff with it. They don't have to count it and put labels on it. They just snatch it off your truck and they look at it. Okay, it's good, and sign the paperwork, and you're gone. Right. Yeah, that's a possibility. Lamar says, when I was on a Walmart dedicated with Prime, we had backhauls from food plants to take back to DC. So it's definitely going to be a shortage of food for a while. Right. That's another thing I didn't think about, because there's so many trucks out here, right? It's so many trucks out here. And for example, like a dedicated, if you're on a dedicated account and they assign maybe 20 drivers to the dedicated account, 30 drivers on a dedicated account, well, those dedicated drivers are there to service that customer. But then if they have an influx or shortage in another area, you're taking drivers away from being able to service that customer in other areas. So it's instead of the dedicated drivers running these stores, taking care of these stores and whatnot, then you're gonna have a shortage in something else. It's just common sense. It's just common sense. And so instead of you're gonna have a shortage of milk, you're gonna have a shortage of all the other things that typically get shipped due to this situation. Um, you know, they call that capacity. You got your truck, man. That's good. President don't want no more than groups of 10. How many people you gonna be at that warehouse? It's more than 10. I bet that. Shoot. I know. I know. I ain't messing with it. Trucker 202. Do you haul cars? Do you pull cars like out the ports? Because if you pull cars out the ports, yeah, they might shut you down because ports are run by the Fed. And so if the ports are ran by the Fed, and you got the U.S. Customs, and you got the Ports Authority, and all those government agencies in there, they may be kind of sensitive because a lot of them cars they come on the ships. A lot of those cars come on ships, and so they unload the cars off the ships, and then they stage the cars, and then you got the car haulers. They have to get inside the cars to take the cars where they need to be. And so, depending on whoever's running the show, they may decide to shut down the ports for a while, or not necessarily shut them down 100%, but just maybe have limited capacity, or so maybe shut them down 50%. That's a good point. I ain't thinking about that. Do I invest in the stock market? I invest in the stock market. Not as much as I used to, but yeah, I still. Dealers and manufacturers shutting down. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I see that because dealerships is a place for a lot of people to congregate, and so they don't want a lot of people hanging around. Um, Manufacturers is a lot of people at manufacturers, so yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Oh, you pick up cars at the rails, okay? I mean, you might can do auctions. You can do auctions. I mean, I don't know if you're an independent car hauler, or I don't know if you're a company driver car hauler. I don't know if you have control on what type of work you do, but you might want to switch up your game a little bit. You can probably do some auctions and do like small mom and pop dealerships, because the big dealerships they're gonna shut down for sure. But if you're doing mom and pop dealerships, the small used car dealerships, stuff like that, and do auction work. I don't know too much about car hauling, but I'm just thinking, because you got to work some. You need some money coming in. You know, they close Savannah ports on Saturday. Damn. Trucker 202 said he a union. I still get paid. Yeah, but you gotta understand that in order for a company to make money, you gotta understand that where money comes from. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, I still get paid." Yeah, you gonna still get paid, but it only could last for so long. I'm sure in that union contract, they only allow for so much leeway, in order for you to get paid. Because if the company isn't providing a service for you to get paid, then you gotta understand where money comes from. You know, it's just simple as that. You know, like folk like to be like, man, I got a government job, man, I'm a union, I'ma still get paid. Yeah, but I mean, how long can you get paid? I mean, you could do a week, 2 weeks, but can you do 3 months, 6 months? I mean, can you really do 6 months, 12 months? I mean, I don't know too many companies out there can pay their employees for 6 months without the company actually running and providing the service so they can pay you. In order for a company to pay you, they need to be working to pay you. So, it's good that you got a union job, so that's good. Did I run for Landstar? No, man. No, I never ran for Landstar. I talked to guys at Landstar, and the stuff that guys told me, I was never really interested. It never really sparked my interest on what guys were telling me, from Landstar. At the end of the day, you still leased on. You still got to follow somebody's rules, and you still get pushed around, and it's a whole lot of corporate garbage you got to put up with when you leased on to somebody else's company. So I enjoy having my own authority. So it ain't nothing like it. Besides the money, the money ain't all that. But besides the money, I like the freedom, man. I could never see myself going back to leasing on to nobody. Push come to shove, let's say, something happens. Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, but it won't be an easy choice. I tell you that. Because once you get a taste of this freedom, man, like this is the kind of freedom that trucking was built on. I do whatever I want to do. And that ain't no bullshit. And that's just straight up. You do what you want to do. And like, when you talking about freedom, man, I don't have to worry about nobody bothering me or calling me about nothing. The only people I got bothering me or calling me is brokers. And that's kind of good. You want brokers calling you. You want brokers calling you about loads and money. But other than that, I don't got nobody calling me about no log books. I ain't got nobody calling me about all this bullshit. It's just a lot of bullshit that don't have nothing to do with running a truck. It don't have nothing to do with making money. It's just a whole lot of other BS, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you company drivers and you lease on, it's always some BS that you got to deal with from your company about something. It's like, leave me alone. Damn, There's always some. But see, Clee Johns, I can't. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. I'm sitting up here waiting to get loaded. I'm gonna go up here and see. Cause sometimes they forget about you. Sometimes they forget about you. You know how they do. Sometimes they forget about you. But I just wanted to do do a quick video for y'all. I haven't been doing videos like I used to, you know. But I don't know who this calling me. But hey, I appreciate y'all watching my videos. I'll see y'all next time.